Hi everybody, how are you doing today? Today we're doing the fellowship. New Testament, Matthew 24 and 25. I hope you do stick with me. I might actually on Christmas switch over and go to the birth of Jesus or go backwards to it. I'm not sure. Anyway, or I do a forward to it. I'm not really sure. I'm thinking of a Christmas Day special, but I have not yet decided on what I'm going to do for that special yet. But anyway, I am reading from the source New Testament, and it has extensive notes on Greek word meaning, not only word meaning, but also the Greek lifestyle. So it's a very nice, it is written by a Greek professor. She knows the language and the culture. She is also several generations. Her father and her uncle were both Greek philosophers, and her father was also a preacher. So they also knew about the Greeks. And her father and her uncle would complain about the stuff in the church because they weren't teaching it like the Bible said. They were misinterpreting it. So this is really nice. You can read along with your own Bible. There's really not much difference. I looked at both. There's really not very much difference, but she did go back to the original papyrus papers and decipher them. So I think that's great that she did this. And anyway, if you want to know more about her, I do have an earlier series. Forgive me, it was one of my first ones, so forgive the look of it. But anyway, this is a great one because I like the fact, like I said, I like the fact that it's teaching me about the culture from back then too. And to me, that's a very, very important because as you know, if you go to somewhere else, they're going to have a different culture. They have a different slang. I mean, even in America here, I live here in America, and even here in America, you can go to a different state and it's a different slang. So different words mean different things. So those things are important. And so anyway, I've read a few other of her things, and I really do love this because it's easier to understand. And now I have to find the one I'm at. Make sure I'm on Matthew here. I'm pretty sure I am. Anyway, yes. Okay, we're going to start on Matthew 24. As Jesus was leaving the temple, his disciples came up to point out the structure of the temple buildings. "You see all this?" he remarked. "Every single stone will be pulled down. There won't be one stone left on top of another." And yes, that did happen. As Jesus sat on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately. "Tell us, when will this happen? What's going to be the sign of your coming and of the completion of the age?" they said. Oops. Where is it? Yes, it's right here. Okay. "Watch out that no one makes you wander off the right track," Jesus answered. "Many people will come claiming my authority. They will say, 'I am the anointed one.' They will make lots of people wander off the right track. You will hear wars nearby, and you will hear reports of wars. Don't be alarmed. These things must happen. But the end is not at this time. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom will rise against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these things are the beginning of the birthing pain, of the birthing labor. Then they will hand you over to the authorities to be oppressed and killed. All nations will hate you because of my name. Many people will fall into traps and betray and hate one another. Many false prophets will turn up and make lots of people wander off the right track. And because illegality is rampant, many people's love will chill. But the one who endures till the end will be rescued and preserved. This is the good news of the realm will be proclaimed in the whole inhabited world as a witness to all nations, and then the end will come." So yes, it is being witnessed everywhere. All of these things have already passed. We've had plenty of wars. There's been famines, and if you look right here today, people are falling in traps. Look at everything that happened. Instead of becoming together against, tyranny of a government, we're all fighting each other. And that shouldn't be happening. We should be getting together as one, yet we're fighting amongst ourselves. So there goes that. There's plenty of things in here. Not only this, here's the thing. I'm going to read this one part again because I keep saying to people that, but the one who endures till the end will be rescued and preserved. It says to the end. So it doesn't say, oops, I'm going to come and take you before everything happens. No, it says you're going to endure it till the end. If you endure it till the end, he will come and get us. And he will rescue us at that point. Now, are some of us going to die? Yes, some of us will die. But that means we just go straight to him, right? Anyway, so there's going to be a lot of deception. A lot of deception, which is already, it's been rampant. It's getting worse. But it also made the thing of labor pains. Okay, so when a woman is in pain in labor, how most of you already know that at the beginning, it's further apart, and it's really hard to endure. And then another one, and then another one. And it slowly, until it gets closer to the end, then it starts moving really, really fast, and the pain is really, really close together. So that's what he is comparing all this to. And it is a really rapid right now. So are we? I think we're very close. I think, yes, we are in the end times. I really do believe that. Israel is not a generation, or I should say they are a generation old almost. So we shall see. So then when you see the detestable thing that causes devastation spoken of by Daniel the prophet standing in the sacred place, note from Matthew. The one who reads this aloud is to take note. Then those in Judea must flee to the mountains. Okay, so Judea, they already have a place picked out over there. If you watch some of the different documentaries, Israel, the Jewish people, they have a place to flee to. Not everybody in Israel is Jewish. Okay. So anyway, they flee. There is a mountain, I believe, a mountain trail that they all go to. Anyway, you'd have to watch one of those things. Anyway, you don't have to agree with what I'm saying on all this. You can actually, if you get another interpretation of this, please let me know down below what you think of everything that is being said. The one who reads this aloud is to take note. Oh, that's a note from Matthew. The one who reads this aloud is to take note. Then those in Judea must flee to the mountains. The person on the roof must not go down to get anything from the house. The person in the field must not go back to get any clothes. But alas for those who are pregnant and for those who are breastfeeding babies in those days. Pray for your escape won't be in the winter or on the Sabbath. Then there will be great oppression, and oppression like it has never been seen from the beginning of the world right up until this time. No, and never will there be again. And if you notice around the world, there are a lot of Christians being killed in Jesus' name. And even over here in America, it is getting really bad. People are just going into churches and just killing them. And there's a lot of good people in there too. Are there hypocrites? Yes. I'm not going to say there's not. But there's a lot of good people in there too. So, and some of them, yes, are being misled. I don't know what their church teaches, so I can't say. I have no idea. Only you can make up that mind on whether you want to go to church, if maybe you do go to church. But everything, all I can say is pray to God. And He'll give you direction. There will be oppression, and oppression like it's never been seen from the beginning of the world until this moment. No, and never will be again. Unless those days are cut short, no living thing would be saved. But because of the chosen people, those days will be cut short. Then if anyone says to you, here is the anointed one, or there he is, don't believe it. False anointed ones and false prophets will turn up and show great miraculous signs that would, if anything were possible, lead to the chosen one's off the right track. So you got to stay fast, and it's hard. It's very hard. We're going to need each other to hold each other up. See, I have told you beforehand. So if they say to you, he is in the desert, don't go out, or he is in the bank, don't go out. The coming of the human being will be like the lightning that comes out of the east and flashes across the sky to the west. Where you will find the corpse, there you will find eagles. Immediately after the oppression of those days, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from the sky, and the powers of the heavenly places will be shaken. So to me, that sounds like an asteroid. I could be wrong, but it really does sound like an asteroid. At that time, the human being signs will appear in the sky. Then all the earth's races of people will mourn when they see the human being coming with the power and the great splendor on the clouds of the sky. Now, they're talking about the people that don't believe. Think of the ladies with the lanterns. They were not ready. He will send his messengers with a loud signal call of the trumpet. They will collect his chosen ones from the four corners of the earth, from one end of the skies to the other. Now, think about this. This is at the end, not the beginning, the end. Learn this example from the fig tree. When its branches sprout and grows leaves, you realize that summer is near. So too you will see all these things, realize that it is near at the doors. Let me emphasize that this nation will by no means pass away until all these things have happened. The sky and the earth will pass away, but my words will by no means pass away. No one knows when that day and hour will be, not even the messengers of the heavenly places or the Son. Only my Father knows. The coming of the human being will be just like it was in the time of Noah. In the days before the flood, they were eating and drinking and marrying and being married, and until that day Noah went into the ark. They didn't realize what was going on until the flood took them away. The coming of the human being will be exactly like this. Now, they made fun of Noah. So if you want to go back to that and how it is, I mean, you can look at society today and look what's happening. Society is really breaking down. A lot of bad things are happening, and that's exactly what it says that it would be in the last days. So we're there. Now I'm going to go back up for one more little thing up here, because it actually does say, and I do have to bring this one to my daughter's attention because we talk these things over, and she might see something that I'm missing, because I always thought it was Israel, because a lot of these things do have to do with Israel, because you have to think they are the main one, but then we are the new. We are America. So we're actually in the prophecies as well. Let me emphasize that this nation will by no means pass away until all these things have happened. So what nation is he talking about? It really doesn't say. I always, for some reason, thought it was Israel. So I think God's just telling me that, yes, it's Israel, because Israel is almost a generation old. It's around my mother's age. So she's still here, I figure 100 years. So another 15 years, it'll all happen. And I could be wrong. So please, below, if you have any comments on this, let me know what you think. Maybe you know more about the Bible than I do, but that's so far what I'm reading into this. And I will keep reading. I'm at 40 to 44 on chapter 24 of Matthew. At the time, 2 men will be in the field. One will be taken and the other left. Now, this is at the end, remember, the rapture, as they call it. 2 women will be grinding at the mill. One will be taken and the other one left. So keep your wits about you. You don't know which day the Lord will come. Realize this, that if the owner of a household had known the time of the night the thief would come, they would have kept their wits about them and not allowed their house to be broken into. So be ready. The human being is coming at a time you don't expect. Okay. So 24 to me is very, very, very important to learn. So Matthew 24. Very important. Read it over. Tell me what you get from it down below. Because to me, it's about right now, what's happening right now. And it's not just happening here in America, it's happening across the world. Subscribe to the Martyrs of Christians, or the Christian Martyrs, something like that. Anyway, they give you little things about different places across the world where it's happening. And it's happening here too in America. It has begun. Okay, so now we're on 25. Who then is trustworthy and wise slave servant? Someone the master has made ruler over the household staff. Someone who gives them food at meal times. That slave servant is in a happy state if the master arrives and finds him doing what he is supposed to do. He will put him in charge of all his possessions. But if the bad slave servant says to himself, "My master's away for a long time," and starts beating on his fellow slaves and eating and drinking with the drunkards, then his master will come when he's least expecting it. He will chop him in half, and his fate will be with the overly critical, hair-splitting, pedantic religious types. There will be great sorrow, pain, and anguish. So keep your wits about you, and remember, you're a Christian. If you are one. Because what he's saying is, during this time, I think a lot of people right now are, where is he? It says he's going to come, but look at everything that's happening. Might as well join him. And you start joining in on everything that's going on, materialistic, give me. Being mean to people, especially like the homeless. No, be nice to the homeless. Oh my. Yes, I know there's homeless people that really aren't homeless and they're just doing it to make a buck. I can't help that. But there are so many that really, really are on the streets. That could be you. They don't want to be there. Maybe they have a mental illness. So a lot of them are actually, from what I understand, a big percentage of them are veterans, which means they fought for us. And now they have issues like PTSD and other issues, and they're all mental. And it was caused from being in wars and seeing things that we've never seen. So next time, and some of them, maybe they're a mother who's single and has her children, or a father who's single and has his children and can't afford rent, or for whatever reason, he chose food over rent because he had to feed his children. So he chose that, and oops, something happens. People can be one step away from eviction. So I'd rather not judge them, because you never know what happened to put them there. And so anyway, that's just my thoughts on it. So let me get back to this. So this is also a story about heaven's realm. 10 unmarried girls. Oh, this is the one I was telling you about earlier. Took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. There were 5 silly ones and 5 sensible ones. The silly ones didn't take any oil in their lamps. On the other hand, the wise ones took oil containers with their lamps. The bridegroom was away for a long time, so they all got tired and went to sleep. At midnight, there was a shout, "Here's the bridegroom, go out and meet him." Then all the girls got up and got their lamps ready. The silly ones said to the wise ones, "Give us some of your oil, our lamps are going out." But the wise ones answered, "No, if we do that, we might not have enough. Go away and buy your own." The bridegroom came while they were away buying it. Everyone who was ready went with him to the wedding, and the door was shut. Afterwards, the other girls came too, and they said, "Sir, open the door." But he answered, "I tell you that I don't know you." So then keep your wits about you, because you don't know the day nor the hour when he is coming. It's like the person going from home who calls his own slave servants and entrusts his possessions to them. He gives them 5 bags of money, another 2 bags of money, and 1 bag of money. Depending on their ability, he immediately sets off to his travels. The person who had 5 bags of money traded them and made another 5 bags of money. The person who had 2 bags of money did the same thing and made another 2. The person who had one bag of money dug a hole in the ground and buried it. After a long time, the slave servant's boss came back to settle the accounts with them. The person who had the 5 bags of money brought 5 extra bags of money. He said, "Boss, you gave me 5 bags of money, and I made 5 extra bags." He's so excited. Look what I did. "Well done, you good and trustworthy slave servant," the boss said. "You've been trustworthy with a few things, and now I'm putting you in charge of a lot of things. Let's go and celebrate." The person who had the 2 bags of money said, "Boss, you gave me 2 bags of money to me, and I made 2 extra bags of money." See, this just sounds, you know how your children come to you and show you, they pick a flower or something to give you, and they're just so proud of themselves, or they made you something. And that's how I feel they're doing this, even though I know this part of it's just a story. It's just, that's what brings it to mind. "Well done, you good and trustworthy slave servant," the boss said. "You've been trustworthy over a few things, and now I'm putting you in charge of a lot of things." So just like the other one, they made just as much back, so they went out and did something. Let's go and celebrate. Now, the person who had been giving 1 bag of money spoke up. "Boss, I know you are a severe person. You can make money from practically nothing." The person who had been given 1 bag of money spoke up. "Boss, I know you..." Oh, wait a minute. "You can make money from practically nothing. You evil, lazy slave servant," the boss reprimanded him. "You knew that I can make money from practically nothing. Well, then, you should have deposited my money with the public bankers, and then I would have had interest when I came back. Take this bag of money from him. Give it to the person who has 10 bags of money. Even more to overflowing will be given to the person who has. But a person who doesn't have, even what they do will be taken away. Throw that unprofitable slave out into the dark. There will be great sorrow, pain, and anguish. When the human being comes in splendor along all his messengers, he will sit in his glorious throne. All the other nations will be assembled in front of him. He will separate them from each other, just like a shepherd separates sheep from goats. He will then put the sheep on the right side and the goats on the left. Then the king will say to those on his right, 'Come on, blessed people by my Father, inherit the realm which has been prepared for you since the foundation of the world. You gave me food when I was hungry. You gave me drink when I was thirsty. You took me in when I was a stranger. You gave me clothes when I didn't have any, and you visited me when I was sick. You visited me when I was in prison.'" Now think about that. He has given us each a gift to be able to do. So when you go by somebody, that's why I was saying the homeless people, let's try not and judge them, because, it could be us. And I am thankful to God that I have a roof over my head. I have food in my belly. I'm not hungry. I'm in America. I have a lot to be thankful for. And to judge those around me, I don't know what happened to them. I don't know why they're on the street, but it's probably something mental that's keeping them from working. I imagine that they would love to work if they could. I really do. And that's what he's talking about, is he gave us each gifts. So we should use those. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. Then the people who are right with God will answer him, "Lord, when did we feed you when you were hungry? When did we give you a drink when you were thirsty? When did we take you in when we were a stranger? And when did we give you clothes when you didn't have any? When did we visit you when you were sick or in prison?" And the king will answer, "If you did it for the least important of my brothers and sisters, you did it for me." Then he will say to those on the left side, "Get out of my sight, you doubly cursed ones. Off you go into the permanent fire, prepared for slanderer, liar, and his messengers. I was hungry, and you didn't give me any food. I was thirsty, and you didn't give me a drink. I was a stranger, and you didn't take me in. I didn't have any clothes, and you didn't give me any. I was sick and in prison, and you didn't visit me." This will be their response. "Lord, when did we see you? Hungry, thirsty, a stranger, without clothes, sick, or in prison, and didn't give you what you needed? He will answer, if you didn't do it for the least important of my brothers and sisters, you didn't do it for me. These people will go off to rehabilitation for a set period of time, but the people who are right with God will go off into eternal life. So let me say that again. These people will go off to rehabilitation for a set period of time. I believe that's the 1,000 years of peace. But the people who are right with God will go off into eternal life, and we will be with him. And that was 24 and 25, Matthew 24 and 25. Very important chapters. Please reread them. Very important. If you're interested in this book, just check it out. It's by Dr. A. Nyland. It's the source book, New Testament, or whatever one, King's New James Version. They've got so many different versions now, easier ones, New Translation, whatever. But Matthew 24 and 25 are very, very important for us. Because we're here. Are we close? We're close. Are we there yet? No. Excuse me. There's still a few things that I believe that are left to happen. Which, if you've read Revelations, I've read it a few times, you'll know that we're here. We're here. Do we have years to go? Yes, very possibly, but I don't know. Because Jesus said no one knows the day or the time. He gave us clues as to when. So I don't think we're quite there, but we are in the end times right now. So it is up to us to get the word out. And keep each other strong. And we do need to stick together. We do need to keep each other strong. And just love. Love is the very, very important. That is our foundation of our Christian faith, is love. That is what God gave us. And that is what we are to do. And don't forget your 11 commands. I say 11, not 10, because Jesus added one. Love one another, because if you love one another, you will do the rest of them. And always, God is first. And I will see you later. If you have any thoughts, please paste them down below. And I am learning. I have to go in and check, because unfortunately I don't always get a little ding saying, "Ooh, you got somebody." So if I don't, I will get to you, I promise. I just didn't realize there was anybody who posted on it yet. I'm still getting used to this. This is definitely out of my comfort zone. Anyway, but I felt it was something that I had to do, which is why I do these things. Anyway, I do this fellowship. I really, really like doing this part of it. And I also like doing the unboxings, because that is fun too. But anyway, I do both. You can watch one or you can watch both, whichever you want to. It doesn't matter. You can always find my fellowship, because I always label in fellowship and tell you what I'm reading that day. So if you're looking for a certain chapter, it's right there. It'll tell you on right beside the fellowship. If you want the unboxings, it'll actually tell you what the unboxings are. So if you're interested in any of those, they're right there as well. Anyway, I want everybody to have a blessed day, and I will do a few, hopefully 2 more before Christmas, and I definitely am thinking about doing one on Christmas Day too. It is a very hard time for a lot of people right now, and I realize it's going to get even worse. All we can do is pray. All right, have a blessed day. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe. Hit the little button if you always want to be notified of a new episode coming out. All right, I will see you later. Have a blessed day. I know I keep saying that, but you know what? I don't think you can say it enough. All right, bye guys. Love. Don't forget, love, love, love. See you later.